Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to read a story together called Fruit Salad. If you remember from our sight words this week, one of the sight words we're working on is this one. Do you know what this word is? I. We're going to look for the word I in the text as we read today. Okay? So the name of the story is Fruit Salad. And it says we're going to read all about how to make fruit salad. So let's look at the picture on the cover. What do you think this story is going to be about? And how do you know? Now remember, this is a recording, so Miss White can't hear you, but I would love for you to tell your grown-up that you're with what you think this story is going to be about. And how do you know this? Now, let's read this together. I'm going to read it first, and you're going to echo or repeat after me. Are we ready? Fruit salad. I add apples. Remember to repeat after me. I add grapes. I add pears. I add bananas. I add blueberries. Repeat after me. I add strawberries. I add plums. I add cherries. I add peaches. I made fruit salad. Very good. Let's go back and look at this story again. If you look at the cover, based on the picture, what do you think is going to take place in this book? Where do you think this character is in his house? Do you think he's in the bedroom making fruit salad? Do you think he's in the living room? How about the kitchen? I think he's probably making fruit salad in the kitchen. Do you agree? Now, let's look at our text again. And remember our sight word for this week? One of the sight words is I. So I want you to use a highlighter and highlight, or a pencil or something like a pen or a marker, and we're going to mark all the sight words that we see. I add apples. So Miss White is going to mark I. I'm going to highlight it. I add grapes. There's another sight word. Do you see I? Now look at the word add. What letter does it start with? A. What sound? Ah. What letter is next? D. What sound? D. So add, 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 add. Put it together and I have I add grapes. Then I have I add pears. I'm going to highlight I because that's a sight word this week. Let's look at our next page. I add bananas. I is a sight word, so I'm going to mark that. That's a word I can read by myself. How about this word? Add. 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 Can you read that word by yourself now? I bet you can. And look at this word. B. 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 If I look at the picture, what is he adding to the fruit salad? Bananas. I add blueberries. Now, blueberries is one of those words that we can put together, blueberries, and break apart and have blue berries, right? But I know add, that's a sight word. I'm sorry, I is a sight word. I also know add because I know the letter A says A and the letter D says D. Add. Add. I add blueberries. Did you know that the word blue is a color word? Do you see that? That tells us what color the berries are, doesn't it? Let's look on page number 7. I add strawberries. Strawberries. Looking at the picture, am I right? Yes, I is a sight word, so I'm going to highlight. I can read the word add because I know that A says A and D says D. Add, add, add. I add strawberries. I add plums. I is a sight word. That means I need to know it as soon as I see it. I add cherries. There's another sight word. Are you marking them on your paper? I add peaches. I is a sight word. Can you read this word by yourself? The letter A says A. The letter D says D. Add. Add. I add peaches. I made fruit salad. I is a sight word, so I'm going to mark this. Now look at this, boys and girls. This is an entire book about fruit salad that you can read all by yourself. Remember our sight word I. We can read the word add because we know A says A and D says D. Add, add. And then we're going to use the picture clues on this text to help us if we're not sure about this word. So if I look, and I look at my picture of fruit that he's adding that starts with the sound, it's an apple. And that was actually on our A chart for ABC Boot Camp. So I challenge you to take this book and read it to as many family members as you can. You can also read it to stuffed animals, any pets that you have. You can read it to a plant. How about reading it to the refrigerator? Do you think your refrigerator would enjoy hearing a story? Read it out loud as much as you can. And later this week, we're going to do another activity with this same story, fruit salad. So practice reading, and remember, we're using the sight word I in this story. So highlight or mark I every time you see it. You should know it automatically. So go read fruit salad and have fun.